Hi, let's go for a ride. Like so many events, the Sedona MTB Festival 2021 had to yield to the virus. A new date has been found for November, but upon following some social media, we learned that a lot of riders were going anyway. Days had already been taken off work, hotel rooms were booked, plans had been made. People were coming. So Black Bikes developed this idea that we could go there, bring the cameras, ride some trails, and see who we will find. Maybe do a fake documentary even. Like pretend that the festival is still on. Interview a few people, go on group rides, maybe get a shuttle going. You know, it'll be funny. Sedona is a special place. When going south, it's the last chance to get some real good dirt before descending into the sandy Sonoran Desert. Up here, the red rock merges with loamy soil, seasons with reasonable precipitation, and the higher altitude make for some of the best riding in the state. And let's not forget the views. Erik and Justin from Ryden Dirty are coming, a lot of the trail dogs are. We're gonna meet up once again with Ziraldo, local shredder extraordinaire. But with conflicting schedules, it became pretty clear pretty quickly that our little impromptu spoof MTB festival is not going to happen. Which is probably for the better, because being funny isn't exactly easy. The first ride was picked out by Erik, a great warm-up, excellent opportunity to goof off and get acquainted with the red dirt.
Oh shit, what's this? It's just a roll.
Up Long Canyon, across Stedman's Pass and Mescal.
Oh, nice. Send it.
The course ended up taking us through Fool's Canyon, and by stampeding through it, the name became programmed.
Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo.
For the second ride of the day, we headed over to Hangover. This iconic Sedona trail is the subject of more YouTube videos than most, and was a huge bucket list item for me. Its main attraction is an exposed cliff ride with a pretty low overhang where tall people have to mind their head. it leads to grand views over some rather technical riding.
Okay.
It's not like Portal, where the fall to your death is around every corner. There's more foliage and it's not as abruptly and openly exposed with the rim right there. And yet, it's still a bit of a nail-biter and you do want to pay attention to what is in front of you. It's still an insanely fun trail to ride, and I have to go back up and clean it. Day 2 brings us a group effort with Drew and the Therapy Ride Club. We're taking on one of my favorite trail combos in all of Sedona, Teacup and Grand Central. Teacup is a crowd pleaser that combines, in short succession, just about everything Sedona has to offer. Techie climbs, tight and flowy scents, slick rock. It sports proper vistas, a bit of exposure, and finally shoots back down through the woods. As a short interlude, we're sessioning a rock roll where everybody gets a turn in stepping out of comfort zones. Then we connect with Grand Central, which has, after a punchy climb that leads to breathtaking panoramas, possibly one of the best downhill sections in Sedona that I am aware of. Disclaimer: I do not want to pretend I'm a Sedona insider. I am not. I live 3.5 hours away from there and I got to ride there a handful of times. If you really want to know everything about Sedona trails, and we're talking all of them, then you have to check out Drew's channel. The link is in the description. I cannot recommend it enough. Huge shout out to you, Drew. Cannot wait to be riding with you again. What comes with every group ride is diversity. We get a good close look at other people, hear their stories why they ride, see their bicycles of choice and get reminded once again, it's not the horse, it's the cowboy.
Full rigid, fatty, single speed.
There is a dropper though.
There is half an inch of a dropper.
On a trail where I am yet again reminded that I kinda long for an enduro mountain bike in my life, Keith here rides a steel, full rigid, single speed, fatty. Steel, full rigid, single speed, fatty. You heard that right. And it's not like we dropped them. I am pleased to witness my progression. This weekend I did some of my best riding so far. It actually has reached a level where I would appreciate a little more bike under me. And I know for a fact that Shell, my full suspension trail bike, would in turn appreciate not being rattled to death on trails a bit too gnarly for her. She's also not the biggest fan of lift access bike parks, and I cannot blame her. And riding with the dogs a day earlier, tricked out and very capable one and all, that idea became louder in my head. A little more travel, a bit more bike.
We're just going up there.
Yeah.
I want an enduro. And then I ride with a group where everybody just makes it work with what they have, and I am being reminded that gear is of course a factor, but rarely a deciding one. It's always the cowboy. I persistently struggle with the N+1 principle. An anti-consumerist at the core, I still want every bicycle I see. There is always something better, lighter, and more capable coming out. Bikes with more or less travel, superior components, different geometries and philosophies. Material sciences and technology research provides a constant temptation, and marketing tortures us with the permanent threat of inadequacy. But as so often in life, managing wants and needs is what this boils down to. My 140mm travel trail full squish is perfectly fine for most things I throw at her. And if not, then that's more likely because of my own shortcomings and not because of her limited capabilities. I have yet to become a better cowboy than she is a horse.
Shit. Drop. Rollable.
I still want that Enduro though. Hashtag sponsor me. Or leave a like, leave a comment, watch this video again, ring the bell so you don't miss any, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. All of those things help us tremendously. And if you're especially fond of what you see here, help us go places on Patreon. And of course, please do support all those wonderful channels that we are lucky enough to ride with. All of the links are in the description. Thanks for watching. Pedal hard.